Boy, I'll say one thing. Hopefully, everyone in here's, or they should be really proud of how our student athletes conduct themselves, how they handle losses. It says a lot about the type of people that they are, type of men they are. So I'll talk from my perspective as a coach and what I saw to our guys, and I'll talk about a real tough situation that we had with our heavyweight, not getting the opportunity to wrestle, and how those guys handled themselves. And then obviously basketball last night, how they handled themselves. It's I think you guys know, because you're around the people and the kids, that this is a special place. We have some special people that are in these positions. Man, when they handle, I guess how they handle the losses and the defeats says a lot more than how you handle the good times. And I tell you what, I'm couldn't be more prouder to be a Panther. Couldn't be more prouder to have kids that I do that represent our program, and hopefully you guys feel that same way about them. Peters, I tell you what, he tore his ACL in December, and I don't know if anybody knows that tearing an ACL, that's a pretty big deal. It stabilizes your knee. It kind of keeps it in place, and the great thing about him is after it happened, we got the results back. I told him, I know what, Dylan, you can still win with this. And I gave him examples of guys that have, and he never doubted it once. We gave him about 50 days off the mat, and he came back, and he never doubted it. And I tell you one thing, he never told us how bad it was hurting either. I know it was hurting. Now I find out, it was really bothering him. It was really hurting him bad. But he made up his mind, and I think it shows when someone is willing to make their mind up and kind of burn the bridges, so to speak. That you can do incredible things. So that he was able to get in the top 6 in the country with the shape that his knee was in is pretty incredible. Because that's a really tough weight. It's a very deep weight class. What was that little saying you had? What's that? Something spaghetti ready.
Hasta lasagna, don't spill any on you.
Hasta lasagna, don't spill any on you. When he pinned him, I like that. I like that. I like it. I like that. Well, he pinned 2 guys, so we were saying, he lost to the defending champ, and then, I'm thinking in my head, it'd sure be nice for him to get one of those Chipotle specials. And you know what? He got 2 of them, so we were pretty happy about that. But what impressed me most, and I listened to him talk after he became an All-American. He talked about the team. He talked about the guys around him and the people surrounding him, and how much they gave him strength, his family, and the people that cared about him, and he wouldn't have been able to do without them. That was great to see from a coaching perspective. That was what he went back to. That's what the type of people that he's around, and that's what he gave thanks to. So I'm proud. I'm really, really proud of him. I'm really, really proud of all our guys. And then I'll go from the other end of that. You got a guy that like Blaize, who I think everyone's pretty aware that he didn't get to wrestle. He's not terminally ill. He had the mumps, and he was vaccinated also. And so it's a very, very big long shot that you get that. And that was a really hard phone call. I'm telling you, that was a really hard phone call. We didn't get the results till Tuesday, and then, the doctor he wasn't okay, even if he was symptom-free. So even if he would have been symptom-free, they weren't going to let him compete. Just when you have 330 kids wrestling, you're not going to put a guy in that mix that can give it to everybody. So like I said, I hadn't cried in a long time. It's been a long time since I cried, but I tell you what, I cried in that phone call. That was hard. It was really hard because, you weren't able to be there with them. I think that's one thing that we always tell our athletes. We're always going to be there for you. We're always going to be there for you. We're going to have your back no matter what, good and bad. And then not being able to be there, that was hard as a coach to have that. But I tell you what, he sent me after Peters pinned his guy. He sent Chipotle special, and then a bunch of exclamation points. So he was watching. He was right there with the guys, even though he didn't get to compete. And you know what? He's going to be stronger for it. Like I said, you got to find a silver lining in something. And sometimes things are taken away, and you know what? Like I said, it's not terminal though. Yeah, it's a tough thing, and he got that opportunity taken away. But hopefully everyone's proud of him and how he handled it, because I tell you what, that's not an easy thing to handle when you get to do it on your own terms. I think that's probably the toughest thing. You know, with wrestling, we've always talked about we get to have it in our own hands. It's not off on someone else. It's in our own hands, and you know he didn't get to do that. So that was hard for me as a coach. But to see how he's handled it and how he'll handle it moving forward and how he'll grow from it, you know, that's what we talk about all the time is how do you react to things, how do you move forward from things, and how do you use it. And I know he's going to use it in a good way. So you know if you do see him or make sure you give him a pat on the back, or you know what, you can give him a hug now. I don't think he's contagious anymore, so it'll be all right. You know, and then we had 3 other guys go to that tournament. You know, I thought Alber competed very hard. You know, wrestled really well the first match. You know, he wrestled the guy in the finals the second match, and then you know got beat in the backside by a guy who's been a 2-time All-American. So it wasn't like he lost to guys that weren't really good. You know, I'm excited for him in his future being a freshman, but seeing the type of competitor he is, and then knowing kind of the few areas that he needs to really improve on. You know, we already got a plan together, and we're going to have him so on Saturday he's not watching next year. You know, and that's kind of one thing that tell those guys, you know, this is the last Saturday you're going to be sitting watching the stands. You're going to be out there on the mat, and I know that guys are already thinking about St. Louis for next year. You know, Steiert won 3 matches as a true freshman. You know, so that's a good thing for us. You know, I thought the first 2 matches he wrestled as well as he had all year. You know, and he was really having fun too. I mean, he was enjoying it. He was enjoying the atmosphere, and then you know he got beat by two good guys. So I mean, you know, we got to get him off the bottom. That's going to be the big thing for him moving forward. But I tell you what, the type of mentality that he has, and to show the growth that he did throughout the year. Because if you would have watched his first matches. You know, he lost to a kid from Oregon State. Nothing against the kid from Oregon State, but he lost to him one of the first matches of the year. And he even brought that up. He's like, you remember when I lost that match to that guy? I was like, yeah, I remember that. He said, you've grown a lot since then, and you've gotten a lot better, and you know, you proved a lot of things to yourself this year, because it is a really long season. You know, we start in November, and you know, it's 4 months. So for a true freshman to be able to handle that in the way he did, you know, I'm proud of him, and I'm really looking forward to his future. And then you know, Cooper Moore, we got to get him loving this sport and excited about the sport, because I tell you what, he's as capable as anybody, and I know that he's going to be extremely fired up for his senior season. You know, we're going to get some of these guys. We're going to get them away for a while, and really get them so they're eager and excited to get back on the mat. And you know, you can think about next year, and I don't like talking about next year, but next year's here now. I am excited about the future, what we bring to the table. We do have a good young group. We have guys that are hungry. We have guys that are progressing. You know, and I've seen it steadily happen throughout this year. You know, now the spring and summer we got to put a plan together. And we're putting a plan together for these guys to develop them and make them better in their areas, and then as a team and moving forward. But I'll tell you what, I like how some of these guys are talking about making it their team, and that's really what we need. It doesn't need to come from us as the coaches. It needs to come from them. So I think. I'd want to get my tickets early for next year, because I tell you what, they're going to be a fun team to watch. And I know that we'll have Virginia Tech, I think November 18th, so you can put that on your calendar. They got a really good team. They won a trophy this year. I think November 18th, it's a Friday night, so you might want to circle that one, because they're going to be a real good team. And I tell you what, I'm excited about the team that we're going to put out there too. I know Oklahoma's going to be coming in. We'll have our 4 MAC duels, and hopefully we'll get one other duel in place, working on that too. So I guess any questions?
You know, looking with what you had to face this year with injuries and adversity, for the guys that are coming back, how does that strengthen their resolve and help them eventually get ready when you get back on the mat to make the most out of next season?
Well, I think it shows you a lot of things. One is that you know, in Blaize's situation, and I said nothing's guaranteed. I know you know, we got some freshmen that think, well, you know what, I'll get it next year or the year after, but you don't know. I mean, you have no idea if you're going to get that opportunity again. I mean, so one, it shows that, you know, I mean, we talk about it all the time, but they had it right in front of them. You know, and then two, a guy like Peters, you can still find a way even if you're not 100%. Sometimes guys wait till they got to feel good. If I don't feel perfect, then I can't do it. Now you can feel perfect because mentally you can overcome it, you know, and you're able to focus, and that's really what he was able to do. Like I said, he just kind of burned the bridges, man. And there's I'm not going to turn back. There's no turning back now. So I think it shows our guys that we got guys in the room, you know, because you talk about those things like, You know, you talk about, well, you remember this guy doing it and this guy doing it. I don't know, no clue who that guy is. Well, you had a guy that just did it that you see every day. So, you know, you got that example in the room. So it's a good thing. And our young guys, you know, we had some of those young guys. I mean, Hochschlag beat a guy that was around a 12 this year, you know, at Midlands. You know, Max this summer beat a guy that placed. You know, Lujan was a 1-point match with a guy that was in the top 6 in the country, you know. So, you know, those things, you kind of look at those things at how close those guys were right now, you know, and then you put them in the situation, you get them to grow and you get them to continue to develop and love the sport. Then I tell you what, the sky's the limit, really, you know. And I know everybody's talking about all these other teams in the lineups that they're going to have next year. You know, we'll just keep our mouth shut and keep working, and we'll get our lineup ready. But like I said, I'm excited. You know, everybody talks about adversity and it had to be so hard. No, man, I love coaching. I love our guys, man. Our guys, what they give to me and the program and the university is incredible. So for me to ever put my head down because we've had some adversity, no way. That won't happen. That won't ever happen. Yeah, it's tough, and you know you want to pull your hair out. I don't know if I got any gray hairs yet, but they're coming. But man, I don't know, because you know, you sit and you talk with some of these other coaches, and just kids aren't the same, and this and that, and I'm like, I just want to be like, then get out of coaching, don't coach. You know what? Because I tell you what, I love coaching. I love our guys. I love being here, and that's not changed. If that changes, then I will be done. But I tell you what, I love what I get to do. You know, I get to work in my passion, and you know what? I have some incredible support. You know, administratively. Coaching wise, and my wife, man, she's incredible, you know. So I don't know, I'm getting off on a tangent here, but that's what's going through my head, man. I love coaching. I couldn't be more excited. I know that, yeah, we went through a lot this year and we had injuries, but you know, for me now, you go back and you kind of try to analyze, you know, why are these guys in their 4th and 5th year? Why are they breaking down? Okay, what's happening? Are we doing something that we can change to move it forward? So in their 4th and 5th year, they're their best years, instead of, man, I can't wait to kind of get done. And we're really analyzing and making some of those adjustments and giving some time away and really tailoring things, so it's not just kind of the, you know, that's the way I was raised, that's the way I trained. It was every day, man, just keep knocking, man, keep knocking until that thing gets knocked down. And for some guys that works, for some guys it doesn't work, you know. So you got to be able to find that balance of which guys can handle what, and you know, maybe err on the side of a little bit less and being smarter. So you know, we're certainly analyzing. But I tell you what, this year's strength in me as a coach is going to make me a better coach. So you know, you can talk about all adversity all you want, but I tell you what, bring it on. So you know, and then our seniors, I'm not getting off the mic, so you just sit down. No, but to all of our seniors, I think we had 11 of them. You know, I want to make sure that they know how much I appreciate them believing in the Panther train. They started the Panther train. This group of guys who've been here for 5 years, they really started. And they got the momentum going. And I tell you what, you get some messages from those guys about how proud they are to be part of this program. And you know, those guys are going to keep coming back and they're going to keep being part of it. And that's what you want as a coach. You don't want it to be a 5-year deal. You know, you want it to be 50, 60 years, and really hopefully you had an impact on them, you know, moving forward. And that's you know, that's what we're trying to do here. And I tell you what, you know, we do have incredible fans. We appreciate all your support and everything that you do for UNI wrestling and for UNI athletics. Because I tell you what, I love being a Panther and look forward to next season. So, anything else? All right, now you can have the mic. All right, thanks.